Okay, cool. All right, guys, if you just joined us here in the live, welcome. So, my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. Specifically, we help people navigate around GLP-1 meds, teaching them how to do it correctly, setting them up for long-term success. GLP-1s, peptides, and powerful weight loss. The goal is setting you up for long-term success. Yeah, so for us, I think microdosing your medications is probably going to be the likely outcome. I think a lot of people are going to ultimately need to microdose. Now, not everybody's going to have to microdose. Some people are going to be able to wean off the medications entirely. But I do think most people are going to have to microdose, especially if you were obese, if you were metabolically dysfunctional. That's going to be the issue. But for us, because we fix people's insulin resistance, we fix their inflammation issues, we stabilize them, we teach them how to become self-reliant, build some medication independence, we are able to set them up for long-term success. Which one is more successful weight loss, Zepbound or Wegovy? Without a doubt, Zepbound. Zepbound is significantly better. Zepbound is the same thing as Mounjaro, which is the same thing as tirzepatide. One week, no, I wouldn't consider 1 week a stall. I definitely would not consider a single week. That's too short. Constipation after adding retatrutide. Well, you can get constipated after adding any. You can get constipated after adding any GLP-1 medication, right? That can happen. And so, if you are also dealing with brain fog, tiredness, constipation, feeling cold, body's achy, then this is likely due to metabolic downregulation. And it's not so much a medication side effect as much as it is your metabolism has slowed down due to you severely undereating over an extended period of time. What effect does adding MOTS-C do? So MOTS-C is an exercise mimetic, and it activates the AMPK pathway. So the AMPK pathway is a low energy status. It's a low energy state. So one of the things that happens when AMPK is activated, your body starts burning fat. Your body starts mobilizing body fat. You start to turn on various processes in the body that you want to turn on that support weight loss, that support fat loss. So it's a really good thing to have activated AMPK. And that's why you want to fast. That's why you want to do things that activate AMPK. You're welcome. Is Zepbound released in a pill form? Yeah, I think they are. Orforglipron is going to be their new GLP-1 medication that's going to be oral. The results don't look as good so far, though. So I'd be a little bit weary about that. They don't work as good. Let me get logged on here. There we go. Best peptides for PCOS. I think the best peptides for PCOS, besides your GLP-1 medication, would be a powerful fat mobilizing peptide. So something like AOD 9604, also potentially Sloop 332, or the new peptide that we have, which is really exciting. This new peptide is called ATX 304. And the 0304 is another exercise mimetic, kind of like MOTC. So yeah, that one's pretty cool. Lourdes, I'm on Mounjaro, but I've gained 13 pounds. Yeah, that's awful. I would like to know, what you're doing there or what you're not doing. For you to gain 13 pounds on Mounjaro is kind of wild. I'm sorry to hear that. What dose are you on? I would imagine you probably have other inflammatory issues going on, other inflammatory conditions, is what I'm guessing. But maybe you're really stressed out. Yeah, you're on 15 milligrams, so you're on the maximum dose. Are you a diabetic? And what other medical conditions do you have going on? Guys, if you just joined us here this morning, welcome, welcome. So my name is Dr. Jones. I have clinics that service across the nation, all 50 states. Yeah, Lourdes, that's probably why. Are you also having to inject insulin? Normally, yeah. So, I mean, when you're a diabetic, you should not be focusing on weight loss. If you're a diabetic, you should be focusing on fixing your diabetes. That's the bottom line. Diabetes will cause weight gain. And weight gain causes diabetes to a certain extent. They have that bi-directional relationship. And so I've always done really good with our diabetic patients by focusing on diabetes. We focus on the diabetes first. Is AOD good for inflammation? Not as much. AOD is not an anti-inflammatory peptide. If you guys want to reduce your inflammation, there are powerful peptides that the literature shows might be able to do that, like BPC 157 KPV. I don't know what list you're talking about, Riddle. Krausnet 73. Medical stuff as if you're not a registered doctor through the YouTube partner portal. Interesting. I will definitely look into that. I will definitely look into that. Thank you so much. Let's see. How can you treat constipation while on a GLP-1 medication? So constipation can be triggered by many things. Constipation can be because your metabolism has slowed down, metabolic downregulation. If your constipation is also coupled with brain fog, lower energy, weight loss stall, then we can fix it with the reverse diet or metabolic reset. Also, you can just become constipated because the GLP-1 medications, that's what they do. They slow down the GI transit. And so by slowing that down, that could also trigger constipation too as well. So, we always focus on fixing constipation with either standard protocol, increasing fiber, increasing hydration. You can add some magnesium citrate or you can possibly reduce inflammation, go a different path by going the carnivore path. Rosalind, I'm using tirzepatide. I've lost 30 pounds in 8 months, but lately I feel very cold and tired. Yeah, you are severely metabolically down-regulated. How many of you guys watching this live right now are in the same situation where you are barely eating and your metabolism has crashed, you have symptoms, tiredness, brain fog, constipation, feeling cold, achy body, and of course your weight loss has stalled? Let me know in the comments, is that you? Is that what you're dealing with right now? Yeah, so Dulce, Peptide, Heather. That's great, John, that you are losing weight. That is fantastic. I know you're on the maxed out dose though, so I know when you plateau, then you're going to be stuck. Maybe I'll work with you then. I eat, but I'm cold and tired. It means you don't eat enough, most likely. Yeah, Cami, type 1 diabetes is kind of a different beast. We don't work with type 1 diabetics. I apologize. The weight I'm dropping, constipation, I'm struggling with. Yeah, so again, hydration, fiber, magnesium citrate, I would give those a try. Yeah, we do offer Retatrutide. Guys, we do offer Retatrutide. Shoot us a text message if you guys want to learn more. The number is on my shirt right here, as you can see. Shoot us a text message, and then you guys can get scheduled. Yes, ATX 304 is the same as 0304. Have you used it before? That is a really good peptide. So what I like about 0304, guys, ATX 304, this activates the AMPK pathway. AMPK pathway is a pathway that you want to activate. You want to activate this because this is your low energy status. This is your fat loss state. Your body, when activated, when AMPK is activated, you are burning fat. You are losing weight. So the AMPK is the low energy status. This is what you want activated. And so fasting activates it, calorie deficit activates it, MOTC activates it, ATX 304 activates it. And it's also going to help preserve muscle, which is nice. What can I take for sciatica pain? BPC 157, TB 500, Chrissy, which is the Wolverine stack. That might help. But I would also recommend working with a physical therapist or a chiropractor at the same time to try to figure out what might the issue be, what the issue might be. I'm not on GLP-1s and I'm terrified due to the fact that I already have constipation. Yeah, so this is where we could help. We could work with you to figure out what the issue is. Is it inflammatory bowel disease? Is it inflammation in general? Like, what's causing the dysfunction and helping you to get to the root cause? That's what we do. The new peptide could help with the stall. Although, if you're in a state of metabolic downregulation, if you're in starvation mode, you need to fix that first and then use the peptide afterwards to jumpstart your results. How come I lose weight everywhere but my belly? So this is a real problem. If you're not losing your belly fat, if you're not losing your visceral fat is the fat that accumulates around the abdominal cavity. And research now understands that this is the worst type of fat. This is the worst type of fat. This is the majority of your health problem, where the majority of your health problems are coming from. It's coming from visceral fat. So you absolutely need to crush the visceral fat, and you need to crush it fast. No, I'm a big fan of fasting. Guys, if you're not already following me on YouTube, go to YouTube right now, type in Dr. Jones DC. You will find my YouTube page. We put out 4 videos a week, every single week, where we discuss peptides, GLP-1 medications, and successful weight loss strategies. Definitely go check out the YouTube page. Dr. Jones DC, you will find my YouTube. Yeah, beauty. So cholesterol is, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? Cholesterol is not something that we can ignore completely, but it's not as good of an indicator of cardiovascular risk. Unfortunately, carnivore is the best diet for improving metabolic health, period, which means improving cardiovascular risk, without a doubt. You're welcome. Guys, if you want to work with me, if you're curious about the prices, the coaching, the structure, all of that, shoot us a text message. The number's on my shirt right here. It's the best way to reach out to my team. KPV for inflammation. Yes, KPV is fantastic, Gypsy. KPV is kind of crazy. So KPV actually turns off the production of inflammatory cytokines at the level of your DNA, at the level of your genes. Check this out. So when you have chronic inflammatory conditions, you have these NF-kappa B, which is a signaling agent that tells your DNA, turn on these inflammatory cytokines, NF-kappa B. So KPV blocks NF-kappa B, and by blocking NF-kappa B, you're blocking the actual signal to your DNA that says turn on and produce inflammatory cytokines. So KPV shuts off the production of those inflammatory cytokines. It's freaking fantastic. And we do service all 50 states, just so you guys know. If you guys want to learn more, just shoot us a text message. Just holla. Just holla at your boy. I did say that. I did say just holla at your boy. Although you won't be hollering at me. You'll holler at my clinic. It won't be me that hollers back, but you get my point. I think peptides are amazing, Bree. I think you need to be working with a licensed healthcare practitioner who's looking at your blood work, who's looking at your overall health status, and can make good recommendations for you based off of your current health status and what's going on. Is Chloe good with Retta? Roberto, that question doesn't make any sense at all because I don't know anything about your health status, right? So Peptides are not just random things to use because it looks cool. These are health tools that need to be used correctly to optimize and improve health. You don't just throw random tools at a job and expect the job to get done. You have to use the right tools for the job to get the job done, right? It's the same thing with your health, the same thing with your body. It's kind of like, well, it is the wild, wild west right now because people are just ordering these things and they have no idea what they're ordering. And unfortunately, that's the problem. Hey, Gypsy Girl, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. That means the world. I always love when people are having a good time and getting results. That's what matters. Francisco, can you add KPV, BPC, and maybe Francisco. I mean, I certainly don't specialize in that area of health, but BPC more so than KPV, I would think. Although KPV does reduce inflammation. So you need to go have a doctor look at that and see if there's any structural issues. Tell me about compounded tirzepatide and L-carnitine. The L-carnitine doesn't really do much. The L-carnitine's cool. It helps mobilize fat. But the main component in that is the tirzepatide. Tirzepatide is the dual agonist GLP-1 medication that is very, very powerful. Like, if you can get tirzepatide over semaglutide, I would always do that. Anything good for neurological issues, nerve damage, similar to MS? Issues, nerve damage, similar to MS. Well, reducing inflammation would be a good start, Deborah. So that's where I would start. I would start with the reduction of inflammation and then go from there. So like BPC 157, KPV could be a good start. And then it would depend on what the damage is from. Dulce, so I was advised as a pre-diabetic. Okay, you were told you were pre-diabetic. Does insurance have issues to approve GLP-1s? It totally depends on your insurance companies. Generally, they don't want to pay for anything, as you know. That's how that works. Hey, Heather, thank you so much. And, the next step is going to be that you get booked for an appointment. You're going to speak to my team. If you end up getting started, then you're going to work with me, and we're going to kick some butt. I'm super excited. I hope I get a chance to see you on my coaching calls. CJC with DAC. I would not touch DAC. Drug affinity complex causes the growth hormone pulse to be constant. And I wouldn't touch that. Our doctors wouldn't prescribe that to patients. I wouldn't recommend that at all. It's very unnatural growth hormone exposure that I think is potentially dangerous. What to take to increase dopamine? C-Lanc and C-Max was trash. Yeah. There isn't a particular peptide that increases dopamine. Dopamine is a very more impacted by how you live your life, right? Your motivation. Are you setting goals and trying to achieve them? That'll increase dopamine. And reducing inflammation, dropping visceral fat, exercising, that's going to improve dopamine. DHA fatty acids, that's probably going to help dopamine. Fibromyalgia is a chronic autoimmune disease. We prescribe low-dose naltrexone, Jessica. Low-dose naltrexone is probably the number one most potent and effective treatment for fibromyalgia. If you've never heard of low-dose naltrexone, you need to shoot us a text message because it's pretty affordable and it works really well for fibro. Big Al, I've been using BPC TB. My cycle is 2.5 milligrams twice a week. What do you think? I think that's a very silly cycle structure. I've never heard of it. And I can tell that you are not getting good advice. Whoever gave you that cycle, that's pretty ridiculous. You would use BPC anywhere from 250 micrograms to 1,000 micrograms every day. And then you would use TB500 anywhere from up to 2,000 micrograms a day, depending on the severity of the injury. But twice a week, sure. Do I think that's going to do much? No, you need that chronic daily exposure. And your doses are not good. I think Zepbound Hollywood Motors is amazing. Zepbound equals Mounjaro equals tirzepatide. This is your dual agonist GLP-1 medication. This is our favorite GLP-1 to prescribe, hands down. As a reminder, guys, we do service all 50 states. Is it okay to take creatine, Heather? Absolutely. 5 grams a day in the morning, creatine monohydrate. Everybody should take creatine. Yes, CJC IPA with no DAC. Glutathione, Tyler, is very potent if you have a high quality glutathione and you're taking the right dose. Absolutely. What do you need to get rid of visceral fat? Well, GLP-1s help. GLP-1 medications help redistribute the fat content out of visceral into subcutaneous. So I think GLP-1 medications are really helpful. And then exercise, resistance training, reducing inflammation, reducing cortisol. If cortisol is elevated, all of these things are going to help reduce visceral fat. We don't use that peptide, Alicia, so I'm sorry. Tesamorelin and Samorelin blend. That doesn't make any sense to me. Tesamorelin and Samorelin are both growth hormone releasing hormones. There's literally no point of stacking 2 GHRHs. Once again, these research companies, they don't have a clue in what they're doing, and it's so wild. Those are both growth hormone releasing hormones. You wouldn't stack those together. You ideally stack a GHRH with a GHRP, right? CJC is a growth hormone releasing hormone. You stack it with ipamorelin, which is a growth hormone releasing peptide. Tesamorelin and ipamorelin could also go together. I don't have too much experience with L-Dopa Firefly, so I couldn't comment on that. I haven't heard anything bad about it. Yep, I agree. Resistance training would be number one. Annie, I would recommend you get peptides from us. I would recommend you get them from us. We service all 50 states. And if you guys want to have a peptide consultation with our experts, shoot me a text message right here in the number on my shirt. The number is available on my shirt. Check it out, guys. You'll get a chance to speak to my experts, and they're going to help you with they're going to help you establish a game plan. They're going to let you know what it looks like to work with me, to work with my medical team. Bada bing, bada boom. We're gonna crush this. And we do service all 50 states. Make sure you're following me on YouTube, guys. Go to YouTube right now. Type in Dr. Jones DC. Other than that, you guys have a great day. See everybody later.